What you see here is one of my sterling baby cups. This one is for my grandson, one of my grandsons, and a bag set that I made today. I'm not crazy about polishing silver, and I had just polished these, and they're starting to darken again. So what I had purchased is this special anti-tarnish fabric. It's brown flannel, and it's been treated with something to prevent tarnishing. And I have a total of 3 cups right now and an extra bag, and I just made these today so that I have a better way to keep the silver cups from, I don't know if it's the humidity, the heat, they start to tarnish very quickly. I also, now that I think about it, I have a large silver platter that I'm constantly polishing. So this fabric, and in this case, this bag, it's a set of 4 small bags and 1 bigger bag, is to keep the silver from tarnishing and to make it easier that once you polish the silver, you probably get a little bit of a longer time before you have to polish it again. Now this is the same fabric that you see lining silverware boxes. Anti-tarnish flannel is what they call it. It looks like I bought a yard, so I have plenty of fabric. So I think what I could do is make 3 individual bags and then make a larger bag. And so making a bag is very simple. I'm going to mark out with chalk, like if I take the larger cup, and I have more cups, so it's good that I bought a yard. If I take the larger cup, and I'm going to need quite a large square. I'll need 2 of them. And basically, I'm going to be turning down a top edge and just stitching a bag. I'm not going to put a drawstring in there, but you could. I'm probably going to take the top of the bag and fold it down into the cup. Kind of, you know, like stuff it into the cup and then put the 3 cups in a bigger bag. So the first thing to do is to mark out the size of each of the 3 bags. So I think that's big enough. It's basically an 8-inch square. That's the larger cup. And it looks like I'll have enough clearance on either side to fit the cup in the bag and then stuff the top down into, and that's just regular chalkboard chalk. Now I have no proof really that anti-tarnish flannel works. I do know that my silverware doesn't get tarnished, so I don't know if they've embedded something in it or what, but I mean, it's not going to hurt. And like I said, I had just polished these, and they're already starting to darken. So if it helps, it'll be good. So I'm actually going to cut 3, I'll probably make 4, at least 4. I'm going to cut 2 pieces for each bag, 8-inch square. So, and I want to cut at least 4 of them. So I'll actually end up with 8 8-inch squares to make 4 bags. Okay, so I've cut out the 4 sets of fabric for bags, and I've pressed, I wasn't going to worry about pressing the fabric because it's going to get crinkled, but I decided to go ahead and press it lightly anyway, and I've turned down the edges on each of the bags. Now, if you want to put a drawstring in, nothing's going to change as to whether how you sew it. So now what I do is I take each of these pieces, and today I'm using my White Family Rotary from 1901, and I'm just going to stitch right down here. This is about a ½ inch, the turn down area, and obviously leave this end open and just run the stitching down like this. I'll do that on both pieces for each bag, and when that's done, I'm going to start about here and just go around the 3 edges of the bag, and by stopping just below or at my hemming stitch there, that leaves these 2 ends open. And then you take, if you want to put a drawstring in, you take your cording or a shoelace or a string or whatever, and you put a big safety pin through the cording and push the safety pin through the channel there, and pull it out to make a drawstring. I might do that on the larger bag that's going to hold these, but I want to get the small ones sewn to see how much mass they have before I cut out the fabric for the larger bag. Now you can make these any size. This was 8 inches. It's probably at 7.5 now. You can make them long enough for a serving fork if you have a special serving fork, or if you have collectible spoons that you want to take out of a rack and make bags for. Anything that you don't want to tarnish. So I have already put in, I've wound a bobbin. This machine is currently in a treadle, and I just have to make sure the treadle belt is clear. I have a fabric piece around the bed of the machine here. And I want to go fairly close to the edge of each one, which is why I used the pinking shears. In this particular machine, the White Family Rotary from 1901, this hand wheel turns backwards. The other white that I have is an earlier machine that actually you can turn forward, the hand wheel. But this one turns backwards. 1901, and look at the stitch. It's a perfect stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the rest of these, and then I mean, it's so easy to put them together. You can protect a lot of different things in your household like this with this type of a special fabric. I kind of changed my mind. Let me go ahead and put one together and show you how to do that. So I have stitched, I've folded over and stitched the raw edge, which will be the top. Now I line the 2 pieces up, right sides together. And like I said before, I'm starting at my stitch line. And I'm basically going to go around the sides and the bottom of this, and it will become a bag. I have the stitch length at about 4 on this machine. So right here, I had trimmed the thread a little bit short when I went this way. I want to make sure I catch that seam, not seam, that stitching at the top. It makes my channel for a drawstring a little bit narrower, but at least I know I'm catching the thread that's going horizontally. And this machine doesn't have reverse, so you just turn it around and go back a couple of stitches. So it takes, once you get the piece, the fabric cut and pressed, maybe 5 minutes to make a bag. Which even if I liked polishing silver, gives the item, in this case the cups, a little bit more protection. Very simple to do, very fast. I take the cup, I put it in there. And I stuck the top in. And the reason I'm making this a little bit big, this is the biggest cup, and the 8-inch bag is big. But let's say I decide to give, like that cup, that's mine from when I was a child. What if I want to give that to my son, so he can have my baby cup when I was a child? Then I might want to use this bag for another cup, or a spittoon, or a salad fork set, or something. It's a good standard size for several different items. Now I'll go ahead, stitch the rest of them, and then see how big a community bag would be. Community in the sense of several items. Okay, so this is what I have to put into a bigger bag. I have the 3 cups. In the extra bag, I have to buy another cup. And I'm thinking, so this would essentially be just as small once I get the other cup. There's a ruler. I'm thinking I can make a 12-inch by 12-inch bag to fit the what will be 4 cups in there. So that's what I'll do next. I mean, I guess I could go to 15 inches. I do have the fabric, but I mean, these aren't as big as they look. And I think that if I, do a 12-inch bag, it'll keep them more from rattling around or moving around. So I'm going to do 12 by 12. Okay, there we have 3 bags plus the extra bag and a 12-inch bag, all ready to be done, and have everything stuffed in. And I'm going to show you how to make a very simple crocheted drawstring, which I am going to put in a larger bag. You take, this is an I hook, worsted weight yarn, G, H, or I size hooks go along easily with worsted weight yarn. You put a loop like that. You pull it over from the right, and you've made your first single crochet, and from there you just keep doing that, which is called making a chain. You bring it over from the right, you're pulling the previous loop over the new loop, and you just keep doing that. So I need about 30 inches maybe, and this will take just a few minutes to do that. And then when you have your length done, and you have your 30 inches, this is what I meant by you just put a safety pin in the end of that, and I'll just show you how this works. And you go over here to the corner of the bag, and you start just pushing that through. And once you get it going, it just goes through like that. And it'll come out this side, and then you go in that side, and you'll come back out over here at the beginning, put the two strands together. So let me go ahead and make that chain rope and put it through the bag. And I had said to make it about 30 inches because you want to take the length. It was 12 inches wide, two sides, that's 24 inches, and then you obviously want a little bit extra. And what I'm going to do is just pull this. You can either tie it here in a knot so it doesn't come out, or pull it tight and then tie it in a bow right there. But here we have our silver cups and our extra bag. And now, of course, I can just continue to make extra bags if I want. And they go right in there. You can also just tie it in a big loose loop. Gives you enough to grab it. It seems to be staying closed by itself. And there we go. Now I'm going to polish them up better, get them just how I want them. And this is perfect for storing.